Davis from the Red Brick. I'm an art educator at the Red Brick, and I'm here today. We're going to talk about illustrating a dragonfly. Now, at the beginning of this clip, I have put in a little video of Evinrude, and Evinrude, or as in the video, it's Evinrude. Anyways, he's a little dragonfly that Disney put out years ago, Rescuers Down Under, and he is an adorable little guy. And when I first started thinking about this dragonfly project, I remembered the little guy, the Evinrude. So I just wanted to show you, here's my interpretation of Evinrude, and I just think he's so cute I could just keep going and doing more of them. So what I would like to first, the reason I chose to do the dragonfly is because he has some symbology that I think is appropriate for us today as we are quarantined or sequestered in this situation. And there are lots of meanings, but I'll just read this off. Having flown the earth for 3 million years, dragonflies symbolize our ability to overcome times of hardship. They remind us to take time to reconnect with our own strength, courage, and happiness. And so my finished illustration of the dragonfly is here, and I put the little, I made my own little with the wording from that poem. I made my own little stuff to go around it, and I just kind of felt like this was appropriate. Now, with illustrating, we tend to not necessarily go anatomically correct when we're doing an illustration. We get to kind of free lib and do it as we interpret it. So I have made a quick little sketch here of the anatomy of the dragonfly, and that is here. So he has, of course, his head and eyes, he has his thorax, and he has a segmented abdomen. He has 2 wings, and he has 6 legs, and his antennae come out, which I'm not really sure, I didn't go in depth on the anatomy of, complete anatomy of the dragonfly. But his symbols of the dragonfly are chains, transformation, adaptability, self-realization, stability emotionally and mentally, understanding the deeper meaning of life. So I thought these were all great things for us to internalize while we're going through this little event in our history. So now, here are the simple pieces of the dragonfly that when you start to draw yours, this is what you're going to start to draw. You have the head, the thorax, and this like weird little, it's part of his thorax, but it's a simplicity of it. And you can see where I've drawn my head, my thorax, and this little nod, and then also my segmented tail. Here what I would suggest doing is just doing a half arc, bringing another tube around here, thinking of it sort of as a test tube. And here is your, I can't even come up with the word what that might be. And then here is his segmented tail. His wings kind of go out from here. One is sort of flat, rounded on each side. And the second one underneath has sort of a hook to it. It's almost like a half paddle or some sort. It has this little connection. You can, the eyes take up quite a bit of space of the head. He has some sort of mouth kind of thing going on here. And like I said, I'm not really sure where these antennae come out. Dr. Sue Tatum would be able to tell us that, our resident biologist. Here, so anyways, now, once you've got your dragonfly sketched out, we're going to think about how are we going to finish our little dragonfly. Now, as we've been trying to say, that try to use whatever you have in your house. a lot of us don't have the supplies like I do. So I have figured out maybe we have food coloring. And I have found, as I did this illustration of my dragonfly, the food coloring is just, you only need a dab of it, but wow, is it intense. It's just the best. I'm gonna use this from now on for watercolors. Red, beautiful red, and a green. Whoops, let's flip the cap so I don't pour out too much. Green, you only need a little drop. The store also comes with neon, but I couldn't find it and I haven't been to a store. Sent my husband off. Jeff, he went to look for the neon colors, and you know, maybe everybody's doing this, I don't know. So here we go. We have our Crayola, simple Crayola paints. We have our watercolors of food coloring, and wait for it. I have blueberries. I moved the blueberries last night because my dog Pierre likes to get up on the counter here and chew things. So I saw him lurking for it last night, and I said, better move those blueberries because I'll have blueberry tracks all over my brand new illustration. Bummer. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna take, I'll take this guy here that we've done. I've already sketched out. And I'm gonna take a little water. Let's get my water closer to my palette. And I like green. I don't know, just something about green on these guys. And then I'm gonna add a little of the yellow to make it a little fluorescent. So here I go. I'm going to take the body and just paint a little. Now this food coloring does dry quickly. And the intense colors, I'm going to add a little blue. They all start to look the same, but that blue with a little green makes it look a little teal. So I'm going to make around here. And as I go into the body that's already wet, it'll start to bleed, which is kind of cool. Now I'm going to pick up more blue and even purposely drag into the other colors. I'm going to give him a tail of blue, and then quickly, because they dry fast, I'm going to mix in some light green into that tail. And while I'm at it, maybe I'll just drop in some yellow dots in here for the heck of it. And I would like to make his eyes nice and brightly yellow. Like that. Ooh, I kind of like this. Now, I like to think of the wings as being transparent. And again, because I like the light green, I'm going to come in here and do a line first of my wings. Now I'll take and actually, now this is all done with the food coloring, which is kind of cool. Now I'm going to add water to the edge here. You can see it starts to bleed, and how quickly actually the food coloring starts to dry up. So as I add water to this side, the food coloring has already been dried up. Now I'm just using a sketchbook that I have on hand. It's a multimedia sketchbook, but I also have done played around with it in just doing like my Evinrude. When I did him on just plain old paper that we use in our copy machines. So I used watercolor on this, and watercolor pencils or colored pencils, and you can see that it works just fine. I did take my ironing board out, and ironed the back side of this, so as sometimes the paper will crinkle, like you see here, how it's kind of crinkled. You can actually flip your illustration over, put it on the ironing board, and just run the iron over top of it, and it smooths the paper out to close to normal. You can see a little bit of crinkling left in that. So back to my dragonfly. Okay, oh yes, let's use a little bit of the blueberry juice. Fun. Now you could take stuff out of your, anywhere in your house, think about, oh, what would make what? So I'm taking some blueberry juice now, and I'm gonna come in here and just kind of put in the veins of his wings. Down here and here. Just to see what it looks like. I also think maybe I'll take some blueberry juice and put it in right next to, I'm not gonna go into the wet paint that's already there, going right next to it so that they won't bleed. Now, maybe I'm going to come over here and do a little under, oh, maybe his cute little legs. Here we go. Oh, and his hands up here. I'm gonna give him some hands. So now we've got basic here. Now I think I'm gonna take my watercolor paints from Crayola. Give a little swath of paint and then come back in again with some more paint. Water. A little less on top. Maybe I'll grab some more paint, bleed it in. I'm gonna now this is gonna mix in, which is totally cool. Come in here with a little more, some in here. There, I like that. Maybe I'll put some dots over that in blue. Okay, I like that. Now, if I had time to let it dry a little bit, which I might get back to or not, you can see I have made another drawing here of a bunch of different dragonflies that I just took from the knowledge I knew of the whole dragonfly and just tried to make some different things, different positions that he might be in. I did take my watercolor pencils, and if I come in and I just kind of, it's kind of fun to just color in from your pencil marks. Sort of like that Joanna Bashford coloring books. And I just like to color this in, and I'll come in and add another, maybe some blue to it. Blue and green seems to be my color. Like this. And I've already done a little bit, so I'm going to come in and just kind of darken up one side of my dragonfly and say, okay, over here, maybe I'll make this guy blue. Maybe I'll make this guy purple. I'm going to make his thorax purplish blue. Now, if I have my paintbrush, which I don't know where I did with it. Oh, here it is. Oh, let's say I take a little of the blueberry color and it's too much. Blueberry is pretty strong, so I'm going to tone it down a little bit. Yeah, that's better, so that's nice. And maybe I'll take some of the purple from Crayola. Not enough purple. And I come in here and just give it some depth. Just have fun, play with the colors. Don't think about anything, just enjoy the way the paint goes onto the canvas, watercolor paper or paper, and just enjoy what it feels like. Ooh, look at that yellow, too bright. I gotta catch it just in time because it's the watercolor. Woo, get rid of that. Woo, that's a strong color. Sometimes if we catch it soon enough, we can dab it so that it tones down. So anyways, these are the watercolor pencils, and if they what's interesting about the pencil is you still have some of the pencil mark, but yet it picks up with the water and starts to blend. It's just kind of a fun thing to do. And even if you take your watercolor pencils and while the paint's wet, you come in and just draw in to that wet color. That also is really kind of neat. I'm gonna go into the blueberry mix. Ooh, I like that color. That's pretty. Nice. Also here is wet, still wet. I'm coming in with my watercolor pencil. Fun. Then I'm gonna say, well, let's just take a little more water to that and see what happens. And then, oh, let's add a little blueberry to this guy. There. So, now, there are your dragonflies. And make sure you'll see at the end of the video, I'll put up another little shot of Evinrude. And kudos and thanks to John Bush at the Pitkin County Library, as he would always start his videos with a cartoon, which I didn't think about it until I remembered Evinrude and thought, oh, let's do that like John Bush does. And so thanks to him for his creativity. So have a great day. Enjoy doing this. Don't forget to try to post some of these on our website. Get them to Sarah Roy at Red Brick, and I also put the email address at the end so that you can do that. Have a great day and see you next time.